wanted to introduce Suitcase Gals to everyone that's in our meetup group, because sometimes it's hard to get to a local meetup. If you're new in the Philly area, we will be starting some local meetups up there, but I just wanted to introduce myself and Suitcase Gals. So my name is Leslie Coleman. My partner Gervinder and I formed Suitcase Gals back in 2021. And it is basically a wonderful group of women who travel together. We do all small group tours. So a little bit about us. Like I said, we were founded in April of 2021. We took our first trips in January of 22. We are a women-owned business, both Gerby and myself. And we've both been in the travel industry for quite some time now. One of our philosophies is travel is cheaper than therapy. When you get a bunch of women together, it can be a very positive effect for everyone. Making friends, being able to travel in small groups as opposed to solo, enjoying good food, good company, and it is a very supporting environment. We've had trips to Iceland where we're climbing glaciers and people are very nervous about it, but there was so much encouragement going on, so that everybody got through everything. Kind of no woman left behind philosophy. So this is actually a picture of our group in Iceland. That was in January of 2021. Since then, we have done 10 trips, and it's growing every day. We have about 10 on the books for 2023 and 2024, and we're even scheduling out to 2025. Oops, wrong way. All right, so what makes us different than the other travel groups up there? Our groups are all small groups. We do not do big bus tours. We may have a small coach for some of our tours, but generally our groups are between 8 and 12 people. We do offer single and double occupancy. In either case, everybody gets their own bed. So if it's a double occupancy, they'll be either, 2 twins or 2 queens in a room. We only use 4- and 5-star properties. It's our time to travel and enjoy life. So, we want to make it nice for everybody. And all of our hotels and tour companies that we use are all vetted. So, we make sure that everybody, we're choosing, appropriate accommodations for the places that we're going. All of our tour guides are vetted, and we have a lot of really great tour partners that we work with. So on our tours, breakfast is always included. Generally, there's several lunch and several dinners in our tours. We always have at least 1 or 2 group dinners, and we always have a final night dinner together. And that's really nice, because I found with most of our tours, everybody chooses to dine together all the time. And, that's a really nice thing to do. But, there are also people that kind of want to go off on their own for a little bit, and that's fine too. It's very accommodating for everybody. We have had some great experiences. We've been to Iceland, we've been to Scotland and Ireland, we've been to Finland, we've been to, let's see, can't think off the top of my head. But, all of our tours are different. We do have returning travelers, but we also have a new mix in there every time. So that's what makes the tours very unique. You get to meet other people. You get to meet people that have had experience with our group, and it's really about creating the friendships between us. on our tours, we always have a Suitcase Gals tour leader. Generally myself, my partner Verinder, we have one other tour leader. Her name is Laura Bosley, and she'll be joining us on several of the tours. So it's really nice to have us there, because should you have any issues with anything, airfare, your airfare got changed on the way home, or you're not feeling well and we need to get you medical attention, we're there to do that. There's nothing that you have to do on this trip that has anything to do with working yourself. So, whatever your needs are, we're there to handle that. Okay. Some of our upcoming trips for this year, we have Paris, which is scheduled from September 7th through the 14th. Croatia, which is October 10th through the 20th. And we just did a live YouTube video with our travel partner for Croatia. So that's up on our YouTube channel. If you have any interest, it goes through the itinerary and why people like to travel to Croatia. We'll also be doing St. Lucia in November, which is a perfect time to kind of get away before the holidays. The weather's starting to become dreary, and it's just a lovely getaway. Of course, we always have, other things going on in the summer. We try to do local events at wineries, outdoor events, things like that, so people can get to know each other before they travel. Meetup has been a very great platform for us because, we've brought in a lot of women, and it takes a lot of women to fill trips. There are some trips that are always guaranteed, and of course we have minimums of the trips. So, if you're in an area where there's a local meetup going on, please join in. The more the merrier. And it's a great way to meet travel people that you might travel with, and possibly find a roommate if you're looking for a double occupancy. So in 2024, we have a whole bunch scheduled. We have our Galentine's cruise, which will be on Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Sea, which is going to be going out of Bayonne, New Jersey. This does fall over Valentine's Day, so it always seems to be a hard time for a lot of people, especially if you don't have a partner, and everybody's going out for these romantic dinners. Well, we're going to make it a very somewhat romantic cruise. We're going to get dressed up. We're going to do a photo shoot. We'll have some activities on board the ship. This particular cruise is not necessarily about the itinerary, but it does go to Port Canaveral in Florida, and it also goes to Coco Cay, which is Royal Caribbean's private island, which is absolutely amazing. There's nothing that you have to pay for in there if you don't want to. Of course, if you want to get fancy and rent a cabana and things like that, there's always cost to that. But you can pull up a lounge chair of one of 6 beaches. They have a huge pool with a pool bar, so it's a really fun place to hang out. And February is usually good weather for Coco Cay. Next, we're going to the Bahamas. After that, we'll dock in Nassau. Nassau has a lot to offer in the way of beaches. Of course, they have the straw market there, and it's a nice place to kind of walk around. They've really redone their cruise, their port there. So of course, there's the usual port shopping, but you can go to one of the nearest beaches and relax for the day, or we even have resorts that you can get a day pass to. There's some all-inclusive resorts where you can go once you get off the ship, hang out there at their pool, eat their food, drink their drinks, and then return back to the ship for the evening. Our next trip is going to be to Morocco, and that is actually a favorite this year. We've started to fill up on that trip pretty quickly. We will be visiting Casablanca, Fez, Marrakesh, and some cities along the way. We'll be going to the Spice Market, Rick's Cafe in Casablanca. If you haven't seen, yeah, now I can't think of the name of the movie. Casablanca. It'll be a great trip. We currently have 10 people on that, and that trip can hold up to 16. We might cap it at 12 to 14, depending how big the group is getting. We're also going to be going to Italy in 2024. This is going to be kind of an overall trip to Italy for those who have never been, a good way to see everything, and for those who have been, it's a good way to go back and find new things. So this trip will start out in Venice. We'll head to Bologna. We'll also do a couple nights in Tuscany, a couple nights in Florence, and then we will be leaving from Rome. I'm waiting for all the details on that to be typed up and finished from our tour company, and I will probably have that posted by next week on our website. So our national park tour is also a really great one that's coming up. This is going to be in June, the first week of June in 2024. We'll be doing the parks of the Southwest. So we're going to be starting in Phoenix, going to Sedona. We'll spend a night there, heading up to the Grand Canyon for several nights. Then we're going to be going to Bryce, Lake Powell, Zion, and ending in Las Vegas. So that's what's coming up for 24. We've already got one trip on the books for 2025, which is our Namibia and South Africa safari trip. We'll be spending 10 days in Africa. Starting in Cape Town, South Africa, we'll be spending 3 nights there and then heading up to Namibia for our safari in Etosha National Park. We'll also see the sand dunes and get to know a little bit of that area. So that'll be coming out in 2025. All of these trips we are taking deposits for now. So if you are interested, if you click on our website, suitcasegals.com, you can find all of the information for the trips, as well as pricing and what rooms we have available. So we always like to share what some of our Suitcase Gals are saying about our trips. You know, we get all 5-star reviews, which we're very proud of. Carol was just on our last trip to Scotland and writes that we planned an amazing tour of Ireland, Northern Ireland and Scotland. Our guides were excellent, so suited for our group of warm and wonderful women. The experience exceeded expectations. We not only learned so much about history and culture, but we shared many laughs along the way. And, you know, it's very heartwarming to read those because, you know, we have a connection ourselves to everybody that travels on those groups. So, you know, this is what we wanted Suitcase Gals to be. We wanted it to be about camaraderie and sharing life experiences and, you know, things like that. So we have local meetups in Delaware, Washington, DC, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. We're going to be scheduling some for our newest group in Philadelphia in July. You can reach us at suitcasegals@gmail.com, and of course our website, suitcasegals.com. The other thing too with our group, we are actually in 36 states and have had travelers coming to us from all of those areas. Our trip to Scotland, we had people from California, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia. So pretty much everybody was from a different state, which is very cool. We have travelers that are going with us from Alaska for our Morocco trip. So it's really nice to see that the word is kind of spreading that, you know, we're out there. So, you know, probably the best way to learn about Suitcase Gals is to follow what we're doing on social media. It's not just a ploy to say, hey, you know, join our Facebook or our Instagram group, but it really kind of gives you some insight to what's going on with the group. You can scan the QR code from your computer if you'd like. The other big thing is our YouTube channel. A lot of our online events that we hold in the meetup group, we put right on our YouTube channel. So if you miss something that we're doing, then you can certainly catch it again on the YouTube channel. We just got onto Pinterest, and that's kind of exciting because I've never been on Pinterest before. I get sidetracked when I'm trying to put our stuff up because there's so much cool stuff out there. But that'll really give you kind of an insight to what we're about, what we're doing, what we've done in the past, you know, and how we're creating this group, you know, of friends. All right. Now we're kind of, wow, now I can see everybody. Hi, everybody. I am going to kind of open this up for questions. What I'd like to do is just have you type the question in here. That way we're not talking over each other. So if you do have any questions or want to know about a trip or, you know, how we travel, please feel free to put something in the chat box. I'm looking at everybody. Nobody looks like they're typing. So there's a problem with the link for Croatia. I will fix that right after this. Who has a hand raised? And go ahead, Andrea.
Couldn't help myself. I work in tech. I was like, there's an easy way to do this. Questions were about, so flight travel. By the way, the trips look awesome. I was just looking through your website. So I guess it's, so my understanding, just to make sure, is that the flight cost is not included in the package. So correct. We are responsible for our own travel to and from our destination and from correct. Where we end up to the airport. Yes. Okay, cool.
We will help you out with that. And if we have, you know, a lot of people in a particular area, we'll try to get everybody on the same flights. You know, from this area, we do a lot of traveling out of Philadelphia, BWI, Washington, Dulles. So depending where our groups are and who's coming from, you know, which group, that'll determine what airport. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, how do you find us on YouTube? If you go to our website, at the bottom of the home page, there are some social media links, and you should be able to click on YouTube right from there. Ah, Barbara's on here. Where's Barbara? Ah, there you are. Yes, Barbara's coming from Alaska on the Morocco trip. We're very excited about that. She will be our furthest traveler so far. What else here? Somebody asked about the Italy dates. I don't have the exact dates yet, but it will be after Mother's Day. So we're looking at possibly flying on the 14th of May, 2024, arriving on the 15th or in that vicinity. So what town do I live in and what town does Gerby live in? I live in Frankfort, Delaware. Gerby lives in Bethesda, Maryland. Our other tour leader, Laura, she's in Westminster, Maryland. We do a lot of meetups in all those areas. And I think a lot of you here from Philly, will be starting some local meetups up there, like I said, in July. I don't know the dates yet, and if anybody has recommendations for places to meet up, any restaurants or things like that, a winery, please feel free to email me and let me know, because I'd love to. I don't really know the area other than Westchester, because my daughter went to college there. All right. And Andrea also will talk about Morocco. Anybody else have any questions? Laurie, it looks like you're talking, but you're on mute. You have to unmute.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Could you talk more about the price points? I haven't been on your websites or
Okay.
anything.
Absolutely. So a lot of our trips are, I would say, mid-range trips. If you're looking for a large group bus tour type that's very inexpensive, we definitely aren't the group for you. We try to keep our prices, down the best we can. We also try to keep single supplements down the best we can. It's not always possible because that cost is coming from our suppliers and not from us. So we do try to keep those down. If we can find single supplements that are free, we let you know that, but they're usually limited. Most trips, we do have to limit the single supplement because the suppliers won't allow us to have more than 10% single rooms. Or we may have a group with all single rooms. So it just depends.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, for booking in 24 actually depends on the trip and the supplier. So each trip will have that information and what the cancellation fees are on the website. When you click on that link, it'll give you all of that information. All right, talk about your own personal experience with travel. Well, I have traveled to 42 countries. I started when I was very young. My grandparents came from Germany, and they would take us over there in the summer. So I was probably about 6 or 7 the first time I went to Germany. After that, I got very involved with AFS in school, American Field Service, which is a home exchange program. Now, I did not do an exchange, but we hosted students back when I was in high school, and we did some local exchanges. And then when I became an adult, got married and had kids, we hosted 13 exchange students over the years.
Wow.
It was really important for me to have our kids learn about different backgrounds and, different countries, cultures. And, that really became my passion for travel. As far as Suitcase Gals, Gerby and I both decided in 2021 that, we both had a lot of single friends, and, we like to travel with our girlfriends. So that's kind of how Suitcase Gals came about. We wanted to provide a place for women to go, to travel, to meet each other, to share experiences, and all of that kind of stuff. So that's really where the inspiration came from. All right, Amy is in Southern Indiana. Is there an opportunity to start a local chapter with meetups? Absolutely, absolutely. While we can't just fly out there and do that, we'd be happy to set you up a group out there. If you were interested in being a meetup organizer, we can certainly do that. We can share ideas with the types of things that we do to promote the trips. And I'm happy to speak with you about that sometime after the Zoom meeting. Anybody else?
Do you have any meetups happening soon?
Which area are you in?
Outside of Philadelphia.
Okay, so we won't have anything up in that area until July, just because of our schedules. But we're gonna be getting some stuff set up there. So,
Very exciting.
yeah, we have a lot going on here down in the Delmarva area. The beach, the shores of, Maryland and Delaware. We do go down to Virginia. We cover quite a large span, and we try to mix up where we're having our meetup groups based on the zip codes that you guys provide when you sign up for meetup. So,
Okay.
do our trips include travel insurance? We certainly can add travel insurance, but that is not included. The main reason being because unless we're buying travel insurance through a supplier, then it's all quoted by age, date of birth, all that kind of stuff. So we do have a great travel protection program through Travel Guard with AIG. It's very comprehensive, and you can add virtually anything you need while you're traveling to that policy. And they are quite reasonable compared to a lot of policies issued by travel suppliers. Do people mostly travel solo, or do more people travel with a friend? It's probably 50-50, particularly because we can only have so many solo rooms on some of our trips. So a lot of times people will travel with people they've met on a previous trip. Some people snore and they don't want to bother anybody, and some people don't want to be bothered by anybody snoring. We will never blindly pair anybody as far as a double occupancy, but what we will do is we'll introduce you to them via email, and it's up to you guys to take it from there. So, say Barbara, you're looking for a roommate, and maybe Aaron's looking for a roommate too. We would introduce you. You guys could exchange phone numbers, emails, you could Zoom, you could FaceTime, just to kind of get to know each other. And we've had great success, when people have spent a good bit of time communicating and then sharing a room. Missing anybody else's question? To clarify the problem length for Croatia, is it on the meetup page? I did post it on one of the meetup pages because we had that at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I have not gotten to it on some of the other groups yet, so it will be up this evening. But you can go directly to our YouTube page. And like I said, you can find that on our website. There's even a video you can click on, and that'll just take you right to it. And that is under our live videos there. So I think you have to look for live videos as opposed to just videos for that.
Leslie,
Yes.
so what I was saying is I'm the person that wrote that about the meetup. So the actual link that you have posted on the meetup app,
Okay.
not any of the YouTube. I was on your thing earlier today at 4 o'clock. So I was there, I watched that. It's not any of those. It's the actual, like where it says read more or read less, because that's the link right there that's broken.
Okay.
Just so you know where to go to help you from
I appreciate
searching five places, and it's none of those.
that. Yes, I will fix that after this.
Okay, thanks.
So do you have it meet up so people who are interested in the specific trip can meet one another? Absolutely. When we do put together trips and people have started booking, We do, depending on the location of people, a lot of times because people are in different states, we will do a Zoom meeting. And, you know, it's kind of a get to know each other Zoom meeting. If all the people are from a local group, then, you know, we certainly would do an in-person. All right, Laurie asked about what's the average time spent on a bus per day. We try to go no more than 2 hours traveling by bus without stopping and doing something. Whether it's stopping for lunch, stopping for a particular tour. But we try not to do more than 2 hours at any clip. The maximum amount of drive time a driver can do is only 8 hours a day. So depending on what we're doing for the day, you know, he might be taking us somewhere where we're going to meet a local guide to give us a tour. But he's only allowed to be with that bus for 8 hours. So anytime after that, you know, that'll be free time for ourselves once we're taken back to the hotel. So what larger tour companies do we use? We have some tours from Globus, CIE, but they're all small group tours. We don't group ourselves with the big bus tours. They're all private. It's all our group. A lot of the trips we put together ourselves, but some of them, you know, the trips with some of the other tour companies are really well put together. CIE is really an amazing tour company when it comes to small group and private touring.
Right. So what I meant was, you know, a lot of times you'll use, not that we would be with a larger company, but whether or not those are the backing behind all the plans that are made. And they are sometimes more advantageous to have if things go wrong, you know, air flares, you know, whatever, hotel burns down, you know, crazy stuff, bus breaks down, you know, whatever. So what other larger companies are backing these? And I'm guessing it's different depending on different locations, but
It is.
that was my question.
You know, depending who is, you know, the better tour operator in that area. A lot of times we put together tours and we work with our overseas partners. So, you know, there's always somebody that offers 24/7 service for us, no matter what country we're in. You know, we do use some of the larger companies because they offer a great itinerary. We modify it to exactly what we want to do or what we think would be best for the tour, and come up with our own private group. Does that help?
Yep. Okay.
Anybody else? Are we all questioned out? All right, well, I thank you guys for joining us. Like I said, you're happy to, you know, give us a call, email us, text us, whatever you want to do. We're here. We do try to keep somewhat normal office hours, but we are available most of the time. All right.
Thank
If you
you.
want suggestions, about Philadelphia meetup locations, just you can reach out to me. I'm happy to help.
Absolutely. I certainly appreciate it. And thank you all for joining us. And I look
Thank
forward
you.
to each of you personally at some point in time.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so
This is really
much.
cool.
All right. Have a great
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you.
Pleasure
Thanks,
meeting
bye.
you.
Bye
Bye-bye.
Bye.